God told Adam and Eve that if they ate the apple they would die. But that was a lie. How does this being the first lie ever told not make him the great deceiver instead of Satan who told the truth? I've read the Orthodox Bible, translated to Serbian, and I don't remember God saying that they will die. He just told them not to eat the fruit. It wasn't even specified that it was an apple. But they did die, because they ate the apple. Humans were able to die, and were not immortal. So if we are to believe the Bible, God didn't lie. But they did die. They ain't alive now, are they? But they did die. It wasn't a lie, prior to them eating the apple. Fun fact: in the original story the fruit was never named. They were immortal. But they did die. It's not immediate, it's the introduction of death into an otherwise immortal world. Well, Eve suggested to Adam that they eat the apple, and then humankind was damned for eternity. This is why women can't decide what they want to eat. Before they ate of the fruit they were to live forever, but after they ate of the fruit, death became part of life. First of all, it never was an apple. Discussing Christian mythology makes about as much sense as looking for proof Shrek was real. Kill the heretic. Applying logic to mythology is a fool's errand. This is why the serpent is called Lucifer, light bearer. He is the one who brought enlightenment to humans. Similar to Greek mythology of Prometheus. Faith or some shit. They did die. He didn't say they would die immediately. This omniscient being supposedly didn't know already what was going to happen. Follow Lilith. You didn't actually read it, did you? In my language's translation it's never mentioned what the consequences would be. Just told not to eat it. Also not an apple but a fruit. I think it was because without the apple they were immortal. Eating the apple made them mortal. That's what he meant by dying. From what I remember. It's not the first lie. Because this never happened. Winking face. What if I told you they're both made up? You should try ask a Mormon, since that's basically the basis for their whole theology. Hate to break it to half of the people in the comment section, but Adam and Eve didn't exist. A great myth. You're onto something. Hail Satan. None of it is real, so does it even matter? No. He didn't say what they would die from. They had to stand in the Tigris River for 2 years after they were banished from the Garden of Eden. Eve deceived Adam again. Face with rolling eyes. Look it up. Lost chapters of the Bible. Facebook fact checkers ruled in favor of God. They had eternal life in the garden prior to that. Did they not die? If not, where the F are they now? God said don't eat the forbidden fruit or they'll be banned from Eden. That's all. pre-planned. He wanted them to eventually, so they could move forward with the practices he laid out before them. Even a coin has two sides. Why people say it's an apple? You're saying the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world that he does exist, but was actually the other guy? They were cast out of the Garden of Eden and became mortal. He ain't lying. Better question is why he created the fruit in the first place. Adam did die, didn't he? They did die, just not right away. They lived a normal human lifespan outside the Garden of Eden. But they did die. But they did die, just not instantly. It didn't mean they'd die immediately, it meant they'd stop being immortal and die at all ever. Ah, shit, that made the front page. For one thing, it wasn't an apple, it was fruit from the tree of knowledge. They were allowed to eat as much fruit from the tree of life, but do not touch the tree of knowledge. Live but don't think. They did die. Shut the F up. Meanwhile, in heaven, God, Lucifer, what did you do? Question mark, exclamation mark, question mark. Death, as in, their old life will change and they will no longer be the same type of death. Like having new eyes. That's what I think it means to me. They did die though. God didn't lie and they died, and there was no apple and the devil enticed them. It wasn't a lie. Before they ate the fruit, they were essentially immortal. But if they ate the fruit, they would eventually age and die. Which they did. The original version of this story is way better. It's full of titans, fire and birds eating liver. The lie in what's holy, the light in what's not. They died, he just didn't say they would die instantly. Basically God saying Omi wa mu shindiru. You're dealing with the kind of mentality that puts bricks under hats on the pavement. He didn't say they would drop dead on the spot. The assumption is Adam and Eve were immortal prior to the forbidden fruit. Okay, I understand. Stop worshipping God and kneel to the devil. Exclamation mark. Are you saying Adam and Eve are alive somewhere? I mean, technically they did. It led to sin, which is apparently why we die. What I would like to know is, why are Christians eating apples at all? Isn't that just rubbing it in God's face? Technically the fruit was meant to end their immortality, not cause immediate death. They'd at least live another century or so. But they would die eventually. Which they wouldn't if they hadn't. I think it was just a test to see if Adam and Eve would choose to believe him. But instead chose to believe someone else over him. They spiritually died in the sense they were kicked out of God's presence. They lost their immortality and also physically died. It was no lie. They are dead. I guess it wasn't really a lie because eventually they did die. Technically he told the truth. before eating the apple, or whatever it was. They were immortal. Afterwards, they are mortal and will die eventually as well as everyone else. Actually, God wasn't lying. He removed their immortality. And they did ended up dying in the end. And their descendants followed the same fate. Because Bible is full of lies, just another fantasy book. You just figured out all of human civilization. Satan gets a bad rap, man. His job is to torture evil people. That itself doesn't make him bad. Ike. They did die of old age after they were cast out. In the garden they wouldn't get old, sick or die. Is this your way of saying you personally know Adam and Eve? So Op still thinks they are alive? Don't forget to share, like and subscribe for more content.